Hello and welcome to Untwisted Threads. Today's video is a request from one of our amazing subscribers. We're going to be sharing our favorite soft, non-superwash wool yarns. But quickly first, what are non-superwash wool yarns? Simply put, it is a yarn that has not undergone a special treatment to make it machine washable. This means that this type of yarn is feltable if you're not careful when wearing it. It also means that this yarn is more natural because it doesn't have all of the added chemicals. And I know that a lot of fiber artists prefer this, and after reviewing over 100 yarns now, we have come across some great non-superwash wool yarns that even me with sensitive skin can work with and enjoy. And two of these are even some of our top yarn picks that you can feel a sample of for free through our Patreon if you'd like. The link is in the description. So without rambling on, let's get into our 7 soft, non-superwash wool yarn recommendations. If you're familiar with yarn, you may know that Merino is one of the softest wools available, so we of course wanted to include a non-superwash Merino. The first yarn is Drops Daisy. This yarn came out last fall and we consider it to be similar to Sanascarn Double Sunday. We go more in depth about our thoughts with that in their comparison video. If you're interested, the link is in the description. Daisy is a DK weight, high twist merino yarn from Drops that features 26 colors. I honestly couldn't tell that this was a non-superwash wool yarn because it really is that soft. Currently, it is ranked at a 4.5 out of 5 softness scale rating, and that of course could change as we review more yarns. I didn't have any issues when working with it, no splitting or drag, and no fibers getting in the way. One thing to note with softer yarns, especially merino, is that they are delicate and prone to pilling. This yarn is no exception. We hadn't started doing our stress tests when we filmed its original review, but I can tell you that just feeling the swatch with my hands over time, it has pilled quite a bit. And now for the more woolly yarns, but of course, ones that are soft enough and not too rustic for me, someone with sensitive skin. The first yarn is West Yorkshire Spinners Blueface Leicester Fleece DK. Oh yes, my first experience working with Blueface Leicester, and I was not disappointed. This is of course our current personal favorite top yarn pick. It's a 100% Blueface Leicester DK weight yarn. It's hardy and woolly looking, but soft. It just feels like such a nice quality yarn. Blueface Leicester is a long wool breed of sheep that evolved from the 18th century. They produce a fine and soft wool with a micron count of 24 to 28, which is in between your super soft merino yarns and your Peruvian highland wool. We currently rank its softness at 4.1 out of 5. Its high twist plus its softness made it an enjoyable experience to work with. For durability, Blueface Leicester is known for its springiness and luster. If I had to say anything bad about this yarn, is that I wish it came in more colors. But then again, if it did, I probably would use it for every project and wouldn't give other yarns a chance. Number 2 is Valley Yarns Northampton, a hidden gem in our opinion and our top pick for colorwork projects. This is a worsted weight 100% Peruvian highland wool yarn that originates here in the States. It features 36 colors and comes in 100 gram skeins. Now, Peruvian highland wools can either make or break my softness test, or in other words, are often too rustic for me to be able to work with and enjoy. This one very happily surprised me. It currently has a 4.1 softness scale rating that, believe it or not, is ranked higher than the very popular Knitting for Olive Pure Silk, Merino, and Heavy Merino. I had no issues with traction and can look forward to this yarn lasting a while because of its hardiness. Next is Filcolana Peruvian. It is also a worsted weight 100% Peruvian highland wool and is a fairly popular yarn in Europe. It comes in 50 gram skeins and has 71 colors. fairly similar to Northampton, as it also is ranked as a 4.1 in softness and has the same material content. Now this yarn would have been a top pick for us for color work, but unfortunately it's a little more difficult to get your hands on. Number 4 is Kelborn Woolen Scout, a more recent yarn that we have reviewed on our channel, but it has of course made the list. This DK weight yarn comes in 100 gram hanks and has 40 colors. I was hesitant to include this yarn because I will say that working with it caused the slightest bit of irritation. However, I was blown away with how it softened up after blocking. For its after blocking softness, it's currently a 4.12. Honestly, I would take the breaks here and there from working with the yarn because of how it feels after blocking. Now I haven't tried this yet, but before you wind this yarn into a cake, you could try soaking it in wool wash and letting it dry. In my head, the yarn would act like it does when a swatch gets blocked. It would soften up and could make it more enjoyable to work with. Now you've probably noticed that's not quite 7 yarns yet, and you're exactly right. We also wanted to include a few soft, non-superwash wool blends with you too. So the first blend is West Yorkshire Spinners Signature 4-ply, another great yarn from West Yorkshire Spinners. This is a 40% wool, 35% blue-faced Leicester, and 25% nylon fingering weight sock yarn that comes in 100 gram skeins and 29 colors and patterns. It has the lowest softness score out of the 7 yarns today of a 3.9 out of 5. It didn't cause me any irritation when working with it, but I could see that maybe it could cause some over time, so that is something to keep in mind. Nevertheless, it is still softer than my lowest rustic limit. The feeling and qualities of this yarn remind me of a very durable and hardy Peruvian Highland wool. And as is the nature of a lot of sock yarns, this one features 25% of nylon for that extra strength to hold up with the wear and tear that you might experience in a pair of socks. And last but not least, our final soft non-superwash wool recommendation for you is Barocco Ultra Alpaca. This yarn was one of the first yarns that we reviewed on our channel and is still a top pick 100 plus yarn reviews later. The light is a sport to DK weight version that comes in 50 gram hanks and 27 colorway options. It's a 50% Peruvian Highland wool and 50% alpaca yarn that comes in multiple weights or sizes. I like to think of it as hardy with a halo. Even though that some may say that alpaca could be irritating, I don't find that or any irritation to be the case with this yarn. We recently used this yarn in a holiday nerdy knits project, and I currently have a sweater's quantity of the worsted weight version just waiting to be a cozy cable knit sweater. Have you tried out any of these yarns before? Do you have any soft, non-superwash wool yarn recommendations that we missed? We would love to hear about it in the comments below. And if you enjoyed today's video, please give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time.